It was 10:30. I was sleepy, but it was time to narrate a story. My personal story narration, a routine which we have started during lockdown. Well, I personally never read books to my kids for the simple reason that I find that activity too boring. Instead, I like having conversations, and as you know, kids love to listen to stories, so I don't have any other option but to tell them either story of the people I work with or story of my own life, of my own childhood. Well, the promise which I have with them every single day is that I'm going to be sharing my story, and their promise to back to me is that they're going to be telling me that what did they learn from that story, and if they would have been at my place, what would have they done differently. So these are all of stories filled with laughter, sometimes sad stories, sometimes uh, silly stories as well. So I'm going to be today sharing with you all one of the stories of my life which I shared with them. And believe me, for me, this particular activity, as much as it is fun, it spills a lot of beans. It tells them a lot about me, but I'm okay with that because at the same time, this very activity becomes a very strong foundation for them to learn life skills because it's all life we're discussing. And of course, I add elements of my own knowledge in the life skills area. So before I go ahead and share this story, which I shared with them last night, I'm going to be quickly asking you all that how many of us have gone through a situation in life wherein we are finding it to do something with, you know, we're finding it very difficult to do. It's out of our comfort zone, but still we have gathered, courage to make that happen and have taken that one step, and suddenly the environment around us has pulled us back. It could be, a statement from your loved one. It could be from your boss. It could be from your spouse. It could be from anyone, from your coach, anyone that wherein you have taken the courage to do something which is big for you, and then suddenly someone has said something, and you've kind of gone back, and your demons, which you have kind of controlled for some time, has again become bigger. So I'm sure must have happened to many of us, and it happens many times, have happened many times with me as well. Happen now as well sometimes. So this particular story was about me when I had, completed my education. I did my computers from Thapur, and I had got placed into Siemens. I had moved to Gurgaon, and I was working with Siemens. And I always had this thing in my head, still have it, that I'm not good at maths. Now, for someone who's cracked the entrance exam, have done the engineering, have worked in the whole engineering field, I know some of the people say that maths is the thing for you, but that's something which I didn't enjoy as much. And rather, I would say I had a block in my head that I just can't do maths. So, and by the way, my kids love this. They literally giggle when they listen about it. Oh, maths is so easy. It's the boy thing, and I would say, English is better. So for them, English is like boring. You need to write, and maths is like, wow, it's so much fun. So coming back here, so I was working with Siemens, and then this josh of finishing the engineering and then joining a job. So your, first tick mark is done, and then second tick mark is done. That you've joined a job, and of course, then the third thing comes into the mind that let's do MBA. That's the thing. That's the order we used to do. Sometimes we used to do engineering plus MBA while being in college. Like for me, engineering was in itself handful kind of a thing. So I started with a couple of friends of mine from Thapur and working together in Siemens. We joined this place called as Career Launcher to do our MBA. And so after we used to go to our work in the morning, and in the evening we used to go for our classes. And well, everything was fine and okay, but then maths happened again. So I still remember going to this class for maths, and there was someone who used to teach us the maths, and every single day they used to, explain certain things. Most of the starting classes was revision of what we had done during engineering. So they used to give us some of the, sums to solve, and then he used to ask that, who's going to be giving the answer, and I used to be the last one to ever raise my hands. Rather, I was someone who was not ever able to crack the answer itself. Now, two, three, so first class, okay, second, two, three class went by, and then finally he started, he kind of got hold of me, and I got to know that she's someone who is not doing well. And I still remember after few classes, one day he asked me, what is the answer of this particular question? I said, I'm not able to crack this. And I know for a fact for me, more than to be able to crack the answer, it was a block in my head that I would not be able to do it. And the block used to become more bigger the moment I was to ask, anyway told that you're not able to do it. And then suddenly one day asked to get up and, explain that how it is done. And anyway, the block is there and I'm not able to do it. And it's becoming bigger and bigger. And on top of it, that state of humiliation wherein, you don't know it. And the person continued saying that, I think you have faked your graduation. I don't think you have your certificates. I don't know what you have done. How did you land, even getting a job in a company like Siemens? Well, it was considered to be a good company to get placed in. So, and I was like, more than anything else, the amount of, and I still remember that amount of courage I used to gather for myself to go back there and do it. And I know that, my block and my chatter begins the moment that class begins. And on top of that, taking away from me something which I've done and have achieved, kind of, it shattered me from within. And this whole thing of that, I think I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I don't know how come I finished my engineering. I don't know how, all those low self-esteem issues which I have dealt with for a very long time in my life start becoming bigger, bigger, bigger. And I still remember going back home and, I used to stay in a women's hostel. Going back there, अच्छे से uh, tears and all that I don't think this is made for me. I don't think I should have done engineering. I think this is going to be happening to me at work also, and sooner or later, I'm going to be chucked out of my corporate career as well. Well, thankfully, in the 13 years of my experience with IT and working with MNCs, not even once it has happened. Despite, there were a lot of reorganizations happened. I was never the chosen one, rather was always the chosen one to get appreciation for one thing or the other. So, but my belief became bigger that I don't belong here. And if he's saying this and he's good and he's an IT and as a teacher, I think I should just go away from here. And I still remember that time, I made this call to my mom and she was like, if something is shattering your confidence to such a level, you decide take yourself away, but we don't want you to lose it all. And I still remember very conveniently saying, I am not going to that class ever again. And the outcome of it was I never did my MBA. Well, I wasn't meant to do, or that's another side of the story. So I never went back there and continue with my regular job. My friends continued going there. So one of the quick thing which which I want every single one of you to realize. I know it's kind of many of us would have gone through a situation like that in different ways. We could have got it done as a child, or during our teenage, or probably at work, or probably right now, or in our family with our relationships. Now, one of the quick thing which I really want to communicate you through this, story of mine is, which I realize now. If I really feel and feel from the bottom of my heart if I get to see that teacher of mine again, or I have chance to get a communication with him, it would be very different. It would be very different. I would not have allowed anyone to, make me feel smaller. So now the biggest learning which I gave to my kids from this overall experience is, well, their learning was, wow, Nani did a good job. For them, that was the learning. Nani did a good job. She stood by you and she saved you from the situation. So one of the things which I told them at this point in time, which I would request every single one of you to understand for yourself and also for your loved ones around us, if anyone around you makes you feel small, they do not belong to be in your surroundings. I'm going to be repeating. If anyone around you makes you feel small, or makes your heart crunch, or makes you, makes you very small in in your own being, they do not belong in your surroundings. And this is one with full conviction, which I told to my kids as well. If in the course of time or in life, your teacher or your friend or any relative of yours or your father or your mother, if they ever make you feel small, if they ever make your heart crunch, you need to step up, because people cannot do that to you at any cost, for anything for that matter. There are better ways to make that happen. There are better ways to communicate, instead of making someone small, instead of disrespecting someone, instead of disrespecting someone's identity and their being. Because every single time we do this to someone, we don't know how much damage we are causing them, without sometimes without not even being aware of it. Now, quick thing which if you have been going through this, the quick thing which you need to do for yourself is, number one thing, if that's a distant friend or a relative, start distancing yourself. Do not be into a cage of pleasing people that they will not feel good or all. Do not do that. You have to fill your cup first, and then you have to worry about the people around you. Fill your cup, because if your cup is not filled, then you can't fill anyone's cup. So don't be a pleaser, and watch out for the people you're surrounding yourself with, because every personality of theirs, every trait of theirs, every word of theirs is rubbing against you. So, and if this particular person of yours is very closed one, if it is, your inner family circle, this is what you can do is just communicate in a very, mature way, that you do not like when you're being told like this, you don't feel good, it hurts, and you can constantly keep communicating. And if it still continues in the same direction, just change the topic. So that's the one way. There are many other ways, but the first way and the easiest way is just let them know that it hurts, and you would not want the other person to say this, or move the topic to a different topic, right? For distance friends and all, you need to start distancing yourself. Don't be a people pleaser. Now, another thing which we must remember for ourselves is, we need to surround ourselves with people who make us better, not with people who makes us bitter. Because that bitterness which stays with us, the tendency of human being of making small negative emotions to bigger ones. So watch out for the people you're hanging around. Watch out for the people you are having a conversation. Watch out if the people around you are empowering you or disempowering you. And if you are a coach, if you are a teacher, if you are a parent, please remember to take care of this for even your inner community as well, for your people, for your loved ones as well, that no one should ever be made feel small or disrespectful, be it anything. I hope you found this useful. I hope you could relate to the story which I shared. And if you were, please write down your comments below, and let me know if this was relatable, or and also if you had a takeaway from this sharing of mine. So this is Shruti Chaudhary here, a personal branding and a mind coach. I'm signing off from here. Take care. Bye.